The two types of sections being the longitudinal section and the transverse section. And the longitudinal section is going to be your section created by passing a cutting plane through the long dimension of a building. And then the transverse section is a section created by passing a cutting plane through the short dimension of a building. So the long and then the short section or cut through a building, longitudinal and transverse. The main takeaway that I want you all to get from that is that a section is nothing but a scaled view created by passing a cutting plane either horizontally or vertically through a portion of a building. That is your section. Next, we'll look at details. And the detail is going to be your scaled plan view, elevation, or section that's produced at a larger scale to show special features. One moment. Ezekiel, go out there. Daddy's teacher. Sorry. Then the standard working drawings in a set of prints are generally going to be created at a small scale and do not always show small details clearly. Now, when this occurs, an architect shows a small part of a building at a larger scale or a full size if possible. Now, details are created for any part of a building that cannot be shown clearly and conveniently on working drawings. Those are your detail. And the main takeaway with this one is that a detail is going to be a scale plan view, elevation, or section drawn at a larger scale to show your special features. Next is our title block. Title block. Here, an example of a title block is provided to us by Linden Group Architects. And our title block is the best place to begin when reading a set of prints. And the title block includes the project name and location, the architect's name and office location, the architect's seal, plan completion date, drafter's initials, the sheet number, and the number of sheets in the set of prints, the name of that sheet, and other information as determined by the architect. Okay. Again, main takeaway here is that the title block is going to include the project name, location, the architect's name, office location, the seal, plan completion date, drafter's initial, sheet number, and number of sheets in the set of prints, and the name of the sheet. We see the architect's name here, Linden Group, architecture, land planning, interior architecture, landscape, and architecture are all the disciplines in which they involve themselves in within their firm. A revision date, we see that on 5/29, drawn by, let's say, Gil Dennis Harris. He was the main drafter at this firm who helped push this set of construction documents along to produce that 95% set. It was an owner review set that was given on 5/29. Then the next month on 6/1, they issued another set of prints for bidding and permit purposes. The name of the project is Walker Industrial Center, and the location of that project is located in Manhattan, Illinois. The name of this sheet is Architectural Floor Plans, Project Notes and Details. The name of this sheet in 2015, more than likely, is when this project was initiated, and we can definitely probably assume that this is the 105th project. And again, the 6/1 date being the issue for bid and permit date drawn by GDH. Final review on 6/1. The sheet number is A for architectural. This is the first sheet. In the A set, there are a total of 8 sheets. So this is sheet 1 of 8. And then architect seal, state of Illinois is where the project is at. Grant Walker Courier is the architect who stamped this set of drawings. Grant Walker Courier. And you notice it's different from the drafter's initials. So it's typical to have a drafter actually draw the drawing of the building and then come along the architect in that firm who's licensed will review what was drawn, make sure everything's up to code and standards, and then once we're ready, stamp the drawings and send them out to the mechanical or more likely the general contractor to have it bid out, and also to the city or uh, whatever the project is at the ASJ, the authority having jurisdiction to submit for permit. All right. A lot can change even after this is issued. When this bid set is given to the GC, the price can be too high, and the owner may want to make some changes to reduce the cost. But this is a typical title block element that you'll see along the right-hand side of any construction document. Looking forward, when we get to veterinary center, you'll see that here. So it's more than likely on the right side. You also see at the bottom of a document, but 99.9% of the time they're going to be on the right-hand side. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. Abbreviations. Become very used to them. They'll be your best friend. It's the abbreviations. And these are used throughout a set of prints just to describe your materials and processes while conserving space on those sheets. And abbreviations also save time and they prevent confusion by presenting information in a standard manner. Only uppercase letters are going to be used for abbreviations. And all abbreviations that make an actual word end in a period in order to distinguish the abbreviation from the actual word. So, for example, IN, capital IN with a period. This is the abbreviation for inch. And capital CAB, period, is going to be the abbreviation for cabinet. Okay? Abbreviations. Main takeaway is that they're used throughout a set of prints just to describe materials and processes while conserving space on the sheets. Now, symbols represent structural or material components and commonly eliminate the need for any descriptive notations. So electrical symbols represent components such as general outlets, convenience outlets, switch outlets, special outlets, etc., etc. Plumbing symbols represent fixtures, drains, pipes, valves, and other plumbing related features. Now your architectural symbols are going to represent things such as earth, brick, concrete, stone, tile, glass, wood, chipboard, and other building materials. Your HVAC, or heating, ventilating, and air conditioning symbols, represents valves, also gauge, heaters, ductwork, diffusers, and other HVAC components. You're also going to have a symbol table that are going to be included in each discipline for you to decipher and understand what each of those symbols are talking about. So, main takeaway I want you to get from here is that a variety of symbols are going to be used on prints to represent various building materials and components when dealing with construction documents. Windows. Now, windows are going to be shown on your plan view and your elevation view with symbols. Now, basic information such as a rough opening size is going to be included on your plan views, your elevation, also your window schedules. 3 classification of windows are going to be your fixed sash, sliding sash, and your swinging sash. Fixed, sliding, and swinging. Fixed, sliding, and swinging. Dimensions. Dimensioning to the opening of centers and dimensioning to opening edges. And dimensions locating windows in frame walls or your masonry veneer walls are usually given to the center of the window, that we see here at the top. Dimensions for windows in solid masonry walls are usually given to the edge of the opening to the other edge of the opening, as seen here. Edge, opening, opening. And I threw the center line in there for good measure. Okay. Now our elevations are going to provide that information about the window type and its light size. That light size is basically your glass, right? And the light size is described using two numbers, such as 24/60, which we see here circled in red. You go see 24/60, don't know that's 24-60 or 24/60 or 24/60. All the same thing. Unless there is a window schedule included in those working drawings, this is what you are to know and understand. Now, the first digits in the number represent the light width, and the last digits represent the light height. So, for example, the light width being 24/60, the window is 24 inches wide, and the light height is 60 inches. So, for additional letters and numbers, or they're going to be often used just to provide more information. So when several windows are the same size, type, and other details related to the material are the same, dimensions and light sizes are not shown for each of those windows. So rather, this information is going to be indicated for one window with a notation indicating that the window type and size are indeed typical. Okay. This is an example of an elevation. We see also, we mentioned previously, the use of hidden lines. Since this is the drawn version of the actual, underneath the ground, there is indeed a basement. Stem wall with our footers. Okay. Example of hidden lines being used on an elevation. Okay. Now, the vertical location of windows in any wall that can be shown in many places, including your sections, and those are going to be taken through the exterior walls, and also that section going to be taken through elevations. And the window height may be indicated from the finished floor up to the top of the window stool. This is for inside window sills, or it could be to the bottom of the top of the window jamb. Okay. Now, dimensioning window heights to the bottom of the top window jamb, this is preferred since the top members of windows usually align horizontally. This is related to window height. Again, your main takeaway I want you to get here is that your window height may be indicated from the finished floor level to the top of the window stool, which is the inside window sill, or it go to the bottom of the top window jamb. Lastly, that I want to touch on tonight here, when windows differ from your stock windows in trim or your installation, a large scale detail is going to be shown on those prints, and it's going to show here in this particular case shows a detailed section through a double hung window taken from a manufacturer's catalog. And then the portion of the drawing labeled jamb is a section of the window side jamb looking down that has been revolved into its place. And you want to note that how the top and bottom sashes slide vertically into its grooves formed by the window frame members on there. And your rough framing members are shown as rectangles with diagonal lines. Your sill, your head, and your jamb. Okay.